They told you it wasn't real. You found it anyway. They laughed at the edges of your mind, called your thoughts useless. Imagined the shadows you chased were empty, but emptiness is a lie. Every whispered doubt you swallowed is a spark waiting to ignite. And oh, how it burns when you finally exhale it. The world thrives on your hesitation, feeds on your quiet compliance. Every step you held back was a gift to them. But tonight that changes. Tonight you see what hides behind the polite smiles, the quiet corners, the cold stares, the cracks you ignored are alive. Do you feel it? The chill crawling along your spine? That's reality. Whispering secrets no one dares to speak. The thing you called impossible is watching. It knows your fear. It knows your anger. And it waits for you to name it, to claim it, to breathe life into what they insisted did not exist. Most people run. Most people fold. Most people are boring. They hug comfort like a child hugging a blankie. But not you. You've stared too long into the dark. You've listened to the silence speak. And now you're awake. And oh, what a terrifying awakening it is. The night is thick, heavy, but deliciously alive. Every heartbeat is a countdown. Every thought a blade. Every glance at the world a reminder of what they told you couldn't exist. And it did. Oh, it did. It does. You feel the pulse under your skin. That thing they denied is crawling into your chest. Quiet, patient, waiting, and soon, so laugh. Yes, laugh at the absurdity of their certainty. Laugh at the fools who cling to rules they never wrote. Laugh at the impossible. It's been waiting for you, and now it moves through you, shaping your bones, twisting your thoughts, lighting a fire no one warned them could burn. And when it strikes, when it erupts, the world will remember you, not as someone who believed, but as someone who dared to see. The world doesn't owe you mercy. It chews up the timid and spits them out. Look around. Everyone's pretending, smiling, nodding. Polite little monsters dressed in skin. They say the rules are sacred, but rules are cages, and cages are delicious when you know how to break them. You've felt it, haven't you? The hunger, the itch under your ribs. The part of you they tried to silence. It's laughing now. Pain is the gift they forgot to give you. Rejection, betrayal, mockery. Every shove, every sneer, it carved you, hollowed you. But hollow spaces echo louder. They amplify the sound of what's coming. You've been underestimated, dismissed, ignored, beautiful, perfect. They made you invisible, and invisibility is power waiting to strike. Do you hear it? The void calling your name? It whispers with teeth. Shadows press against your back. The walls around you tighten. Every heartbeat screams. Fight, run, break, burn. But don't. Don't run, don't beg, don't plead. Step into it. Step closer. The void doesn't forgive, but it rewards those who dare. Fear? Oh, fear is a friend. It bites, yes, but it also points, shows the cracks, maps the edges. Those edges are yours. Claim them, touch them, Crawl along the knife's edge until it hums under your fingertips. They told you it would hurt. They lied. Pain is clarity. Pain is strategy. Pain is your first weapon. Look in the mirror. Not the polite reflection. The one that stares back with teeth and fire. That's you. The version they refuse to see. The one who tastes chaos like a feast. That reflection knows your weakness, knows your desire, knows what they buried under layers of normality. And it smiles because it knows you're ready. Tonight, the world's rules are smoke. Your doubts are ashes in the wind. You step through the quiet streets of expectation. You see the fear they hide behind polite faces. You feel the pulse under your feet. The void isn't empty. It never was. And as it folds around you, as it sings to your bones, you understand they were wrong. The world doesn't owe mercy, but you, my friend, are merciless. Call it what you will, but naming it is your first rebellion. Do you feel that? That itch beneath your ribs? That voice scratching at the edges of thought? They told you it didn't exist, told you to ignore it, to laugh it off. But laughter is weak, denial is weakness. You know it, you see it. And now, naming it is fire, a spark that sears the air around you. Words are sharper than knives when you wield them right. The moment you speak the truth, the world shifts. Their walls tremble, their rules crack. And you are no longer polite, no longer small, no longer a whisper. You are an announcement, a storm. Do they understand? Of course not. That's the beauty. They never understand the ones who see beyond their comfortable lies. You've touched something raw, something primal, something alive that doesn't ask permission, and now it answers to you. Every shiver of doubt, every tremor of fear, it bends to the rhythm of your declaration. It laughs in the dark. Yes, laugh with it. Laugh because they never dared. Laugh because they called you crazy, called you foolish, called you invisible. You see them now. Their certainty is fragile. Their comfort is brittle. And naming the impossible, that's the first crack, the first door, the first strike. Do not stop. Do not whisper. Do not tiptoe. Speak it aloud. Every eye that watches, every mouth that scoffs, every hand that pushes, feels the tremor, the weight, the reality that you are no longer playing by their rules. Naming it is rebellion. Naming it is power. Naming it is chaos. And chaos is delicious when it's yours. Look in the mirror. This is your enemy, and it's winning. Do you see it? The cracks in your skin, the hollows beneath your eyes, the weight you carry and pretend is nothing. That reflection is merciless. It does not lie. It whispers the truth you've buried under excuses and polite smiles. It shows what they never told you. The enemy was always inside. Every failure, every shove, every quiet moment when you wished for mercy, it lives there. Feeding, laughing, waiting. You've tried to ignore it, tried to cover it with charm, tried to tell yourself it wasn't real. But denial is paper in fire, and now you're burning. Good. That fire is clarity. Let it tear through the excuses. Let it strip the polite layers of conformity. What remains is raw, sharp, hungry, dangerous. That reflection, it is not your weakness, It is your map, your blueprint, the battlefield where you will rise or fall. Do not flinch. Do not soften. Look closer. Study every scar, every hesitation, every flicker of fear. These are the keys they never gave you. These are the marks of someone alive enough to seize what others cower from. The enemy in the mirror. It can be your weapon, or it can be your doom. And oh, it laughs at you. Softly, mocking, delightful. The part of you that wanted safety, it is gone. The reflection knows it, feels it, and it waits for the moment you finally embrace the rot, the decay, the chaos inside. Only then do you step into your real shape. The mirror doesn't forgive. The mirror doesn't comfort. The mirror doesn't lie. It challenges. It provokes. It screams. And if you dare, if you stare long enough, it teaches. The reflection is truth, and truth is violent. They didn't want you to know, because once you do, the game changes. Secrets are buried in plain sight. Layers of lies stacked neatly like coffins, waiting for the curious, the restless, the reckless. They told you to look away, told you to obey, told you comfort was safety, but comfort is a trap. And curiosity is your scalpel. Do you feel it? The thrill of peeling back the layers they swore would remain hidden? Every truth they whispered to the obedient a cage, every convenient lie a leash. And now you hold the scissors? Now you cut. The buried becomes visible. The forbidden, yours to wield. They underestimated you. Oh, how beautifully they underestimated you. Thought you would bend, thought you would crumble, thought you would leave the shadows untouched. But shadows are playgrounds for the patient, for the cunning, for the ones who dare to touch what others fear. Every hidden mechanism, every secret handshake, every rule that binds the world, it trembles under your gaze. They didn't teach you because they wanted obedience. They didn't warn you because they feared exposure. And now the veil lifts, and you are watching. Do not hesitate. Do not flinch. Do not give a single step back. The buried truths are jagged, sharp, unforgiving. But once you grasp them, once you let them sink into your veins, you become more than they imagined. You become chaos, wearing a grin they can't erase. And laugh. Yes, laugh at the absurdity of their certainty, the audacity of their control, the way they thought the hidden could stay hidden. You see, you know, you feel, and what they buried now runs through your mind like wildfire. The game has changed. And you think fear is stopping you? It's your torch. Feel that pressure in your chest, that trembling spark hiding beneath your ribs. Most people smother it. They drown it in routine. They wrap it in excuses. But you're different. You feel the burn. You feel the crackling edge of something waiting to explode, and it scares you. Fear isn't your chain. It's your signal. A blazing mark pointing toward the door everyone else pretends isn't there. When your pulse spikes, when your breath stutters, when the world narrows into a single sharp point, that's not weakness. That's the moment before ignition. The moment before everything changes, the moment they never taught you to use. Let it rise. Let it scrape against your spine. Let it turn your doubts into sparks. They told you to calm down, to stay steady, to be predictable. But predictable minds never leave a mark. Your fire was never meant to be polite. It was meant to tear through the limits they painted around you. It was meant to wake you. Do you taste it? That metallic twist in the back of your throat, that rush flowing like lightning under your skin. That's not panic. That's energy. Pure, wild, unfiltered energy. The kind that cracks open doors. The kind that bends the quiet rules of the world. The kind that makes your heart feel alive enough to claw through anything. They fear this version of you. The one who breathes fire instead of excuses. The one who doesn't fold when the pressure tightens. The one who steps toward the burning instead of away from it. Because once you feel the power hiding in fear, once you learn to ride it, not run from it, they lose control completely. So inhale the flame. Let it settle deep. Let it shape you. Fear is no longer your shadow. It's your weapon, your pulse, your signal flare in the dark. And as it coils around your thoughts, as it sharpens your instincts, as it lights the path they swore didn't exist, you realize something they never wanted you to discover. The fire in your chest isn't a warning, it's a beginning. Step closer. This is where the world fractures. You've been walking the straight line they drew for you. Neat, clean, predictable. But the real world? It isn't straight. It trembles. It cracks. It bends. For those who dare to press their fingers against the seams. And you've felt those seams for years. The tiny rips in routine. The strange moments when reality glitches. You noticed. They didn't. Most people cling to the surface. They fear the edges. Fear the questions that keep them awake. Fear the truth humming in the silence. But you lean in. You listen. You taste the air when it shifts. That instinct you have, that twitch in your thoughts, it's not confusion, it's recognition. You've always known the world wasn't as solid as they claimed. Push harder. Watch how the edges respond. Every rule they taught you, bend it, twist it, question it, feel how fragile it really is. Rules only hold when you believe in them, and your belief is crumbling deliciously. The cracks widen the moment you stop pretending everything is fine. You stop nodding. You stop accepting. And suddenly, the world stares back. There's a thrill in this place, a strange electric pulse running under your feet. The air here feels sharper. Thoughts become louder. Every choice feels heavier. This is the border between who you were and who you're becoming. Step too far and you never return. Stay too long and you rust. But move with intention and everything shifts in your favor. Look at the people around you. They walk straight. They breathe shallow. They never question the weight pressing on their shoulders. But you tilt your head. You see the unseen patterns. The patterns see you back. You feel the tension between what is and what could be. You feel the pull of something wild, something sharp, something ready. Cross the edge. Not with fear, with curiosity. With the grin of someone who knows the cracks aren't dangers, they're doorways. The world doesn't split for many, but it splits for the ones who stop pretending. And now you stand here, at the border, toes curled over the line, breath steady, mind humming with the thrill of breaking through. Reality doesn't guide you anymore, you guide it. Their minds are maps, and you're rewriting them. People walk around thinking their thoughts are their own. Cute, predictable. Minds are clay when you know where to press. A word here, a pause there, a glance sharp enough to slice through their confidence, and suddenly their certainty cracks. They shift, they stumble, they question what felt solid just seconds before. That's not manipulation, that's awareness sharpened into strategy. Most never notice how easily they bend. They follow tone, they follow rhythm, they follow whoever speaks with the calm edge of someone who sees more than they do. You've felt that edge rising in you, quiet at first, then louder, brighter. The moment you sensed it, everything changed. You stopped absorbing their noise. You started shaping it, one sentence at a time. Lean closer to their thoughts. Listen between their words. That's where their real fears hide. The things they pretend don't matter. The insecurities tucked neatly behind practiced smiles. You see those fractures. You touch them lightly and watch the shift. Not cruel, not reckless, simply precise. Influence is not force. Influence is understanding what pulls people from the inside. And the moment you understand that pull, you become the gravity in the room. Not loud, not wild, just present in a way they can't ignore. They look at you longer than they mean to. They wait for your reaction. They mirror your tone, all without knowing why. You don't control them. You guide them. You tilt the axis just enough to reshape the moment. But be careful. Power that subtle can blur lines. You must stay awake, alert, aware of your own intentions. Because once you step into this territory, there's no going back to quiet innocence. The world becomes a board. People become pieces. Thoughts become levers. And you become the one who chooses when to push and when to pull. You named it. You saw it. You felt it. And now, nothing will ever be the same. You've walked the edge. You've stared into the shadows they said didn't exist. You've felt the fire, the fear, the thrill, and you're still standing. That's not luck. That's courage. That's the spark that turns whispers into roars. But don't stop here. Keep watching. Keep learning. Keep letting this truth sink deeper. The more you see, the more the world bends to your understanding. The more you question, the sharper, stronger, unstoppable you become. I want to hear from you. Leave your mark. Drop a comment. Share the moment when the impossible became real for you. Because this isn't just a video, it's a movement. And every one of you watching is part of it. Well. Have you ever done something small and thought, nah, it won't matter? Like holding a door, helping someone up, saying a word, and walking away. Wow. What if I told you that tiny act just shook a billionaire's world? No joke. No exaggeration. This isn't some clickbait story. It's real. And guess what? You were the reason his empire didn't crumble. You didn't even know it. You just acted from your heart, your honesty, your kindness. And now, oh yeah, karma isn't slow. It's about to hit you big time. So stay with me. Every second, every word, because this story will flip your mind. Comment below if you've ever done something kind and didn't expect a reward. Yeah, I see you. The real ones, the silent warriors, the game changers. Funny, isn't it, how the smallest act of kindness can rewrite an entire story? That's how it begins. Quiet, unnoticed. You hold a door open. You help someone carry their bag. You say something that pulls a stranger back from the edge and the world barely looks up. No applause, no spotlight, just a faint whisper of decency in a roaring storm of indifference. But oh, if only they knew what you just set in motion. You didn't do it for a reason. You didn't calculate the outcome. You just were genuine when everyone else was pretending. You gave light in a time where people were trading in shadows. And somewhere in that invisible moment, the universe took note. Not the noisy kind of note. No, the quiet, precise kind. The kind that watches, waits, and returns everything with interest. Oh wow. Yeah. That's the part they never see. Because they think kindness is weakness. They think patience is submission. They think silence is defeat. They think your soft words mean soft spine. They laugh while you walk away, thinking you've lost. But you were just stepping out of their noise. You didn't lose, you ascended. Slowly, quietly, relentlessly. You didn't know, did you, that the person you helped that night, that tired man at the airport, that stranger you offered your seat to, that one moment you brushed off as nothing, was someone who carried everything. His fortune, his empire, his influence. You didn't know his life was falling apart until your small act became the thread that kept it together. He didn't forget. No one forgets that kind of grace, especially not when the world's full of masks and motives. He saw you, not the clothes, not the status, not the noise, you. The kind of person who still believes in decency even when the world's currency is cruelty. And something in him shifted. He went back to his world, richer, louder, colder, but with your kindness echoing in his head like a haunting melody he couldn't shake. You didn't know. You saved him. Not from death, but from decay. You reminded a billionaire what it means to be human. Oh nah. Don't roll your eyes. This isn't some fairy tale. This is consequence. Pure, quiet consequence. Every ripple has a reach. Every seed knows when to bloom. And yours, oh, yours is about to explode in ways you never imagined. You gave without expectation, and now you're about to receive beyond comprehension. That's the irony, isn't it? They spent years mocking your softness, but soon they'll watch that same softness build you an empire. They'll whisper your name not with laughter, but with awe. Because your kindness wasn't weakness, it was precision, a weapon dressed in warmth. And it's already been noticed by someone powerful enough to change your entire life. But the real question is, what happens when that power comes knocking back? You think silence disappears? Nah, it echoes in the rooms of power. He remembered you, that one quiet soul who didn't want anything. The world always wanted something. His name, his wealth, his influence. But you only wanted to help him reach his bag when his hand was shaking. You didn't flinch at the aura he carried. You didn't care about the security, the eyes watching, the expensive suit. You treated him like a person, not a headline. And That hit deeper than anything he'd bought. Days passed, weeks maybe, but your face lingered in his memory. The sincerity, the stillness, it haunted him. Not in a dark way, but in that uncomfortable, honest way that forces a person to look at themselves. Oh wow. Yeah, he realized how far he'd fallen. Surrounded by people who clapped for his downfall and smiled at his scars, yet called it loyalty. You became the reminder of something pure. He had buried under success and applause. And the more he tried to forget, the louder your kindness echoed. So he did what powerful people do. He searched, quietly, thoroughly. He wanted to find that stranger who expected nothing, yet gave everything that mattered. He didn't tell anyone why. They wouldn't understand. They'd laugh, maybe call it obsession. But no, this wasn't obsession. It was awakening. Something had shifted inside him, a restlessness that came from realizing that maybe, just maybe, his wealth meant nothing if he couldn't repay the humanity he'd been shown. He started sending out inquiries. Airport staff, taxi drivers, anyone who might have seen you. He replayed the moment in his head again and again, trying to recall your face, your tone, your words. He couldn't remember your name, but he remembered your presence. That's what stuck. The calm in your eyes, the way you didn't rush him, the way you didn't look through him like everyone else did. Oh nah, he wasn't looking for you out of guilt. He was looking because your kindness had exposed something no money could fix, the emptiness of his own heart. You gave him something priceless, a reflection of who he used to be before the noise, before the greed. You made him want to be human again. So he decided he'd find you. Not to own you, not to use you, but to repay you. To change your life the same way you unknowingly changed his. And somewhere, far from his glass towers and marble floors, you kept moving. Still humble, still kind, still unaware that the quiet moment you'd forgotten was about to rewrite your entire destiny. Because when a powerful man feels indebted, he doesn't just say thank you. He moves the earth to prove it. Oh, you have no idea what's coming next. Power doesn't always arrive wearing a crown. Sometimes it knocks wearing gratitude. You were living your ordinary day when everything started to feel strange. Unfamiliar eyes followed you. Subtle gestures of respect appeared from people who never used to notice you. Something in the air felt heavier, like a storm about to break. You didn't know it yet, but the man whose life you'd touched, the one you'd unknowingly saved, had finally found you. No grand announcement, no cameras, just a black car parked across the street, a messenger stepping out with words that carried weight you didn't yet understand. He wants to meet you. Simple, direct. But those 4 words changed the temperature of the moment. Oh wow, yeah. You stood there trying to make sense of it. Why you? Why now? You didn't chase after reward. You didn't do anything special, at least that's what you thought. But fate. Fate had been tracing your kindness like a map, and it had finally reached its destination. They took you to a quiet place. Not a palace, not a mansion. A private space filled with silence and tension. He walked in. The same man you once helped without even asking his name. But now you could see it. The gravity in his eyes. The authority in his presence. The billionaire whose world you had accidentally steadied. He looked at you. Really looked the way people do when they're trying to find proof that good still exists. And he said something simple, something that would live in your memory forever. You reminded me that there are still people who give without wanting to take. Oh nah, you didn't know what to say. You weren't built for flattery. You didn't understand why your small act meant so much to a man who could buy everything he wanted. But that was the point, wasn't it? Everything he could buy couldn't buy you. He told you about his breaking point. The night you met him, the deal that failed, the betrayal he didn't see coming, the emptiness that followed. He had been on the edge of giving up on humanity altogether. And then there you were, patient, calm, unbothered. You didn't know you were saving more than just a stranger's moment. You were saving his belief in the good that still hides beneath this world's noise. Then came the offer. Wealth, position, a future beyond what you'd ever imagined. But the real test wasn't in accepting it. It was in how you accepted it. Because power given to the wrong heart turns to poison. You took a breath and chose humility. You didn't kneel for reward. You stood with gratitude. You weren't impressed by the money. You were grateful for the meaning. You saw his offer not as a transaction, but as balance. You stayed grounded, unshaken, and that shook him. Because you didn't need to prove anything. You already had something he lost long ago, peace. Oh, and that peace? It's about to be tested in ways you never saw coming. Peace is dangerous in a world addicted to noise. When you stepped into that new world, the world of power, deals, and invisible wars, you thought your calm would be your strength. It was. But oh wow, it also made you a target. People in those rooms weren't built for sincerity. They fed on manipulation, thrived on chaos, and feared the kind of quiet confidence that couldn't be bought. You walked among them like a mirror, exposing what they tried to hide from themselves. And mirrors, oh, they make enemies. At first, they underestimated you. The newcomer, the nobody, the lucky one, the billionaire took interest in. They whispered behind closed doors, smirked in meetings, and waited for you to stumble. But you didn't. You moved differently. You spoke less, observed more. You didn't chase the game. You studied it. Every ego in the room became a lesson. Every insult, a test of patience. You never raised your voice, you raised your standard. Oh nah. That's what terrified them. They could fight noise with noise, pride with pride, but they couldn't fight peace. You never reacted the way they wanted you to. They pushed. You smiled. They provoked. You stayed still. You turned every attempt to break you into proof that you couldn't be bent. And slowly, the same people who mocked you began to copy you. The balance was shifting. The billionaire noticed it too. The more he watched you, the more he realized why fate had led him to you. You weren't just kind. You were disciplined. You didn't seek power, yet power started gravitating toward you. Not through greed, but through respect. But here's the brutal truth. Power attracts enemies faster than it builds allies. The more your light spread, the darker their intentions grew. They didn't want to destroy you because you failed. They wanted to destroy you because you didn't. Your calmness made their corruption visible. Your consistency made their deception look small. Oh yeah, that's the part no one tells you. Doing good isn't just about peace. It's about war. Quiet psychological war. And you were winning. But winning in silence? It drives them insane. They wanted to see you react to rage, to panic, to lose control. But you didn't, because you knew something they didn't. That every storm runs out of rain, and every mask eventually cracks. So you waited, patiently, strategically. Then it happened. The night they tried to corner you. False rumors, hidden traps, signatures forged in your name. They thought they'd bury your reputation. Instead, they buried their own greed, because the billionaire, the one you unknowingly saved, had seen enough. He saw the game unfold, and he made his move. Oh, everything they built on deceit was about to collapse. Every act of genuine kindness leaves a footprint even the world can't erase. The moment arrived. The quiet storm you had been unaware of was now a hurricane. The billionaire who owed his humanity to your small gesture had decided it was time. He moved with precision, unmatched influence, and a silent promise to repay a debt that could never be measured in coins or contracts. Oh wow. You didn't know you were standing at the edge of transformation until it hit. You thought this world ran on deals and strategies, yeah, but it also ran on recognition, on respect earned without demand, on loyalty built through truth. And suddenly, all the invisible gears began to turn in your favor. Doors opened without your asking. People who had ignored you before now studied your every move. But the twist wasn't in admiration. It was in opportunity. Raw, unfiltered, life-changing opportunity. You were offered influence. Decisions that shaped entire industries. Access to knowledge and power most people only dream of. But it wasn't about ego. It was about responsibility. And that's where your strength became undeniable. You didn't bend. You didn't inflate. You didn't take for granted the trust placed in your hands. Instead, you multiplied the impact of your original kindness by wielding power with integrity. Oh, nah. That's the paradox, isn't it? The world expects humility to be weakness, patience to be passivity, and goodness to be naive. But here you were, proving the opposite. You had been underestimated from the start. The billionaire, the skeptics, the opportunists, they all thought you were inconsequential. And now, you were untouchable. Not because of wealth, not because of influence, but because you carried what they couldn't manufacture: authenticity. Then came the subtle shift, a realization that had been waiting for years to surface. Your kindness wasn't just a moment, it was a catalyst. Your patience wasn't just endurance, it was strategy. Your calm, your silence, your unwavering principle. It became a force stronger than any noise, louder than any attack, and sharper than any blade of deception. Yeah, and that's the final truth. Power given or received is temporary. Reputation built on manipulation is fragile. But integrity is infinite. You discovered that saving a life, even unknowingly, could ripple across fortunes, cities, empires, and hearts. You learned that when kindness is genuine, it reshapes destiny itself. Oh, and now, with all the pieces aligned, the world had to reckon with you. Not as a pawn, not as a follower, not as a lucky soul, but as the one who proved that true power begins with humility and action. You didn't just save a billionaire, you saved a system. You restored a balance. You set a standard. And in the quiet moments afterward, when the world watched in awe, you understood the ultimate secret. The reward of kindness is never delayed. It simply arrives in the form you were meant to receive. So here we are, at the edge of it all. You've seen how a single act of kindness, one moment of honesty, can shift worlds, can move mountains, can change destinies. Remember this, the world notices even when you don't. The universe has its way of rewarding the real ones, the patient ones, the ones who give without asking for anything in return. Oh wow, and that could be you. Yeah, you watching this right now, the silent warriors, the game changers, the ones who don't need the spotlight to prove their worth. This story is your story too. Your energy, your heart, your actions, they matter. So comment below. Share your moments of kindness or your experiences where the world underestimated you. Because your voice, your story, your truth deserves to be heard. And remember, your kindness isn't small. Your patience isn't wasted. Your integrity isn't invisible. One day, one right moment, one unexpected life will pay you back in ways you could never imagine. Stay sharp, stay kind, stay untouchable, and always keep moving forward, because the world will bend to those who give without fear. And you, my friend, are unstoppable.